What we're looking at here is a brand new 2024 3/4 ton. It's a Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4 with a Cummins diesel in it. A couple things. This is a little bit loaded up. It's a level 1 group in the Bighorn, so that gets you a few extra goodies. You get the 8.5-inch touchscreen on the dash. Comes with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, 18-inch rims. A couple other little goodies in that package as well. Now we did add the heated bucket seats to it. The driver's side is power operated. The other thing we added too was the heated steering wheel, which comes in that package. Tow hooks are on this, so if you're going to be doing some off-road and you're good to go, to pull your buddy out when you get stuck. What else we got? We got the instrument panel auxiliary upfitter switches, so basically if you're going to wire any extra lights, it makes it a lot easier to do that. Also has a cargo box camera, so you can see in your box when you're hooking up a fifth wheel, that sort of stuff. And then we added the Alpine sound system with a subwoofer and the remote start. So quite a few goodies on this truck to kind of make it kind of a little bit more deluxe than what you're going to see if you're looking at a standard, Bighorn work truck type vehicle. Across the front, you see it's got the chrome grille, the chrome bumpers. I like the chrome. One of the nice things about the chrome is they don't get rock chipped up as bad. When they do, usually you can just kind of polish them out on the chrome as well. So if you go with the sport look, sometimes they're a little bit harder to do that. You got to kind of paint them or maybe get a 3M coating on them, that sort of stuff. On the front, you'll see it's got the nice Ram logo with the chrome offshoots, kind of C-clamps kind of shooting into it, dresses it up, gives you that big, bold look so everybody knows what you're driving. Here's the tow hooks that we talked about on the front. These are good and solid. They're a closed loop tow hook, so they're easy to hook up. Slip a rope through there, and they're not going to bend on you when you start really reefing on them hard, because they're right back to the frame. Fog lights in the bumpers, so you get a lot better visibility out of there. On the side, these are the aluminum rims we talked about. These are going to stand up really well. They're not going to peel up on you like some of the aftermarket rims do. So that's one of the nice things about going with the OEM stuff. It just stands up so much better. Heavy duty disc brakes all the way around. So of course, being a 3/4 ton, you're going to need that. There's your coil suspension, front stabilizer links all in there. You can kind of see most of it here from the camera angles. 2500 HD logo with the heavy duty inset. Same with the turbo diesel here with the Cummins logo on the side. New mirrors for 2024. You can see it's got these little LED lights in here, which is kind of neat. And then in here, it's got an LED light here as well that we can kind of flick on and see. These are power operated, so from the driver's seat you can kind of extend them. I just did it manually by forcing it, but there's a power switch to open that as well. And inside here you got a nice convex mirror so you can see beside you. It makes things a lot better visibility. Up top you got another mirror. It's got a little heated mirrors logo right there. You can kind of see it. So these heat up, keep the frost and stuff off it when you're driving it. Just got to grab my key fob here and unlock the door so we can look inside. Okay, inside, it's got the cloth bucket seats that we talked about earlier. A lot of guys like this. The standard seat's going to have a bench with a fold-down armrest. So you can see the advantage of that is you can put 3 people in the front. The advantage of going with this seat is you're going to end up with a lot more storage, and we're going to look at that when I get to the driver's seat. I'll kind of give you a quick kind of overview of those bucket seats there. Passenger seat is manual. The driver's seat is power, like we talked about earlier. So manual moving means you just got to lift this little bar up here to slide it back and forth. Nice, comfortable seats. They got lots of side bolster support, so they're good and comfortable if you're going to be using, going on long road trips, that sort of stuff. All-weather mats, or pardon me, the floor mats, sorry. The all-weather ones are available. This is the standard floor mat that you get. Comes with little hooks to kind of hold them in place. Has a Ram logo stitched in there with a nice bright lettering. Now the all-weather mats, if you're going to be like in lots of mud and stuff, a lot of guys will upgrade to those. Just give us a call. We can get you a price on them. We usually got them in stock. They go a little bit further up the sides. They kind of go up to about here, and it helps protect the wheel wells from getting muddy, that sort of stuff. But if you're just dust and normal dirt, these will be more than adequate for you. Bighorn logo here on the dash. Push this little button over here. This slips up, gives you a little storage tray. It's got a little liner there. We can take that out. If you spill some gunk in there, it makes it nice and easy to clean. Inside is your owner's manual. In this bottom glove box, some extra protective covers. This here is for if you take your tailgate off. This cover goes on the box, on the cab itself. It just protects the wires on the truck so you don't end up damaging them. And then when you go to put your tailgate back on, everything fits back together like it's supposed to. A little bit fancier door trim than what you're going to on the Bighorn than what you're going to see on the Tradesman. You get this kind of a burnt wood look here, the metal. We got a little fabric inset. The Tradesman's just more of a flat black. It's not as fancy. You got some storage pockets in here. More storage pockets down there as well. So lots of places to keep your odds and ends. In the back seat, we got pull-down armrest with a couple of cup holders. This does flip out of the way like that. So if you want to sit 3 people across the back, you can. This also flips up. There's your subwoofer, so when you crank your stereo, this is where all your bass is going to be coming from. So it gives you a little bit more punch. The stand, that's I think that's part of that level 1 package, if I'm not mistaken. I think that comes in there as well. Because I think the standard, this is just open. It gives you a little bit more storage, but it's kind of nice to have that extra bass. Underneath here, you've got these little storage bins. These little trays lift out. So if you do spill stuff in there, it's nice and easy to clean. And then when you're done, you just kind of lay them back in. So it keeps everything nice and out of the way. Great place to store stuff that you want to keep in your truck, but you don't want to be looking at it every day. Work gloves, tie-down straps, tow ropes, tow chains, that sort of stuff. Same thing with the back doors, like the front doors that we talked about, you know, with the different materials mixed together to make it look really nice. Once again, more storage. Lots of places for odds and ends. On the back, we got the rear flaps that we put in when we did the PDI. That's included on the price that you see online. On the back of the vehicle, we've got the 2.5-inch receiver hitch. Okay, so this is the bigger hitch. The standard 2-inch drop bars, you can get them to fit. You just got to buy an insert that fits inside here. It's a sleeve to hold the hitch in, or you can buy a bigger 2.5-inch drop bar, which is what I usually recommend. Just it handles the weights a lot better than the 2-inch does. Just stronger, just a more steel. So it's probably worth the extra $30-40. 4-prong, and then down below is your 7-pin if you're pulling something with electric brakes, that sort of stuff. So all your wiring's all there. Nice thing too is it's tucked up, out of the way, so it's not going to get rock beat as bad. Like in the old days, they used to have them down, down by the hitch there, and they always just seemed to get pummeled with rocks, and you had to replace them once a year. Backup camera built right into here, so you can see what you're doing. In the box, it's got the 5th wheel prep kit. You can see it's got all those little pucks, hole circles there. So basically, you just take out those center plugs, those little screws. You just undo those, and then you can drop your hitch right in. If you're going to be pulling a gooseneck for like a gooseneck trailer, like a horse trailer or something, you can just pop that center hole out, and then you can put your 2 3/4-inch ball that you put in there. And then the front 2 you just left out, and you can put your little safety chain anchors in. So the 5th wheel gooseneck hitch is about $400, I think it is, $450, something like that. And then the 5th wheel hitch itself is anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000, depending on what you pick and how much weight you need. So if you're going to be pulling an RV, 5th wheel or bump or gooseneck, just let us know. We can get you a price on the kit that's going to best suit you for what you're pulling. But I highly recommend you go with the Chrysler kits. They're so easy to install. It just sets in place. You throw a lever, it's locked in. When you get done, you don't need the hitch anymore. You just undo the lever, the thing lifts out. You go put it back in your garage and it's out of the way, and you get a nice flat floor like this all the time. So definitely worth the money if you're going to be pulling an RV. Also, when you go with this package, you get all your wiring back here. So you've got your 7-pin to plug your 5th wheel in right there. Just knocks in the hole, and then you don't have to chase the rope down, or the wiring, I guess, down, and then plug it into the bumper. So it makes it a little bit easier to hook up that way. Anchor tie-downs, if you'd like to tie your cargo load off. Okay, so there's one here, another one up there in the front corner, and then all 4 corners too have these little loops down here so you can put your tie-down straps on. So lots of places to secure your cargo. On the side, just show you where your DEF is. That's your DEF cap underneath here. Most guys just take this cap off, but this little red cap here, just lift it. There we go. So that is where your diesel fuel goes, and this is where your DEF goes. Nice thing about having that is having your DEF there is it's easy to access. But typically, what you're going to find is you're not going to need to add DEF very often. You'll do it pretty much every oil change. If you top it up, then you should be fine. Unless you idle a lot. I've known some guys that work on service sites and stuff like that where they got those ambulance medic trucks or whatever the heck they call them. Anyway, they can idle a lot and need DEF more often than that. But most guys, once an oil change is fine. Electric wiring for your auxiliary upfitter switches. Okay, this is you can kind of see it's got these little plugs. What those are is they're up on the firewall on the driver's side. So you just pop this green cap off. These wires just stick in there, and then you can wire them out to whatever you want to hook up to it. So say you want to hook up an extra set of lights, or say you want to put a set of backup lights on your luggage or on your headache racks, or you want to put, I don't know, anything you want to run with an electrical load off the truck, you can just have it activated off the switches. And I can show you where the switches are on the dash. This way here, you're not drilling any holes in the firewall. You're not, you can set the switches up how they work, like if they work like a light switch, they're either off or on, or you can make it so you got to press the switch. It's like a pulse operation type thing. Not quite sure why you'd want to use a pulse operation, but anyway, you can do that too if you want to set it up that way. So pretty cool system anyway if you're going to be putting accessories on. Cold front that comes with the vehicle. These you just stick on the grill in the wintertime. Just kind of covers up all your chrome. Nice thing about it is it blocks off the air getting to the rad. That way your vehicle warms up a lot better in the wintertime. So it's not going to get its, well, I guess it's not, it just basically heats everything up quicker. So you don't let it sit there and idle for 45 minutes and it's still kind of blowing lukewarm air. It's nice to have it warm up quicker. Power windows, power locks, power mirrors. The mirrors do fold in if you press that button, so they'll power in. Okay. Nice thing about having them power in, like this, is if you're working at, say you're in a tight spot in a, West Edmonton Mall or something like that, you can kind of flick those in. It makes it easier to get past the vehicle that's parked beside you. They don't really make some of those parking spots in the city for these big trucks. You can also turn all your lights on here. Those are the switches to turn those on. You can also decide, your convex mirror. They're power operated now, which is nice. So you can adjust the little mirror as well as the big mirror. So it makes it a lot easier to get everything adjusted once you move your mirrors out too, by being able to move them all right from there. Power driver's seat, power back and forth with power recline. We've also got a lower back support here. So there's an airbag to make your back a little bit more comfortable, especially if you're like me and you've got a bit of a shot back. Nice thing about these being the power operated too is you can lift them up and down. So if you're a bit shorter, it makes it a lot more easier to get a little bit more comfortable. Automatic headlights. Headlights are going to turn on automatically as soon as it's dark enough out. You don't have to do anything. You just basically hop in it and drive. And this is how you turn your fog lights on, and this is how you turn your cargo light on in your box. On the inside, let's just fire it up. We're going to look at some of the other buttons here. Okay, over here you got all your touch screen buttons. This kind of toggles through all your center dash. We'll talk about that here in a second. And fire that up. There we go. Okay. So over here you got a nice big tack, so it's easy to see what's going on. Same thing on the other side with the speedometer. Super easy to kind of get your readout. This center cluster, when you go through these buttons, you can access things like your, fuel economy, distance to empty. There's a couple of different tripometers, things in there. There's a screen that keeps track of your, how long you've been pulling your trailer. So all kinds of stuff like that, turbo, boost, that sort of thing. Heated steering wheel, this is leather wrapped. It's got a little extra, you can see the double stitching in here, so it should last a long time. And it is heated, or pardon me, not heated, sorry, just leather wrapped this one. No, it is heated. Sorry, it is heated. So you can flick that on and in the wintertime keep your hands nice and warm. I forgot we put the heated seats and heated steering wheel in this package. Two-wheel drive, 4 high and 4 low, so pretty straightforward. Just reach up and press the button when you want to shift gears. Dash stereo, this is your standard screen. We got our radio stations and our phone, but this is customizable. You can add a page, okay? Then you can pick whatever information you want up there. You can change it to your, say you wanted to do all your phone. So if your phone was paired up, now you'd have all your recent phone calls there and all your most recent phone calls and favorite phone calls is what I just put on that screen. So you can kind of change it up and set it up however you like it. Radio station just kind of tells you what's playing on the radio right now. You've got AM, FM, Sirius XM. I think you get 6 months free. After that, it's subscription based. It also comes with a bunch of different ways to import it. You can do USB ports 1 and 2. You can also use your US auxiliary inputs, which I'll show you where those are in a second. So lots of ways to get your tunes in there. I don't have my phone paired up. If I did, you'd see all my recent phone calls, but what I recommend is you download Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, depending on what device you're using, and it'll actually mirror your cell phone onto this screen. Then you can use like your Apple Maps. The maps will actually show up on here, so you can use that for nav. All kinds of good stuff. Spotify will show up on here. Basically, it just mirrors your phone. Makes the screen look like your touch screen on your phone. More or less. It's not exactly that, but it's more or less that way. It's super easy to use. If you can use your cell phone, you can use that. Vehicle settings, this is where you go in and you kind of just set everything up the way you want it. Like what do you want your speedo in kilometers or miles per hour? Do you want your liters per 100, or do you want your miles per gallon, or whatever settings you'd like to use? Do you want your tire pressure to be set to in PSI or bar or whatever you want? So you can customize the whole truck the way you want the layout for you. Here's your cargo box cam, so you can kind of see it. You can see the fifth wheel hitch holes there. So if you're trying to hook up your gooseneck or your fifth wheel, it makes it super easy to line up because you've got that camera angle. You can also go off the bumper. Okay, so this is the camera we looked at in the tailgate handle. And it's also got a little zoom in feature there. So if you had your trailer ball there, it makes it easy to kind of see it easy to get your ball underneath your trailer when you're trying to hook it up. So makes things a lot easier. Okay, down here, heated seats, heated steering wheel, heated passenger seat buttons. Just hit those and they're on, just like that. Automatic, air conditioning, so it's not automatic on this one. This is a manual mode. You actually have to reach over and turn the fan up and down. If it gets too cold, you got to turn it up. I know. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough buying that stuff. It's having to reach over. But you got a max AC button. You can turn the air conditioning off and on just by hitting that. And then that's your heated mirrors. Just by hitting that button, it'll kind of turn those on. We kind of looked at that when we were outside. Down here, we got our electronic brake controller. So that's how you engage your brakes. This is your gain adjustment, plus, minus. So you can set that up. And then when you're pulling a trailer, you're going to want to activate your tow haul mode, which will just change your shift patterns. And you're also going to want to hit the diesel exhaust brake. So, well, depending on how much weight you're pulling, but if you're pulling something heavy, you're going to want to turn that on because it just uses the engine compression to help hold back the trailer load. Makes for a lot nicer trip when you're hauling something heavy. Auxiliary upfitter switches, those are the wiring harness we looked in the back seat. So once it's wired up to that plug number 1, that would turn it off and on just by hitting that. We've got our wiring. This is your auxiliary input, sorry. Plus you've got a couple of extra USB ports there. You can charge your cell phone up. And then your cell phone, you can just kind of jam it in here and it'll kind of hold it in place so it doesn't slide around. It's got a little hole here in the bottom for your cord to kind of stick out when you plug it in to charge it. So it'll kind of keep it, so you can kind of lay it there and it's not flopping all over the inside of the truck and you can still kind of see it when you're driving. Nice big storage area. This slides ahead as well. So now you got some cup holders and you got a little coin holder. This can come out, makes it easy to clean if you want. You spill a bunch of gunk on there. And then this armrest lifts up. You got storage here. This has got a removable liner in it too. You can just take that out, go close it off. Another USB plug there to charge your cell phone. And then down there you've got even more storage. So tons of places to kind of keep your junk up and out of the way. Overhead, we've got a place for your sunglasses. Just press this button, pops open. It's got a nice felt liner in there, so it's easy to keep your stuff from getting scratched because it's not going to, it's not like it's bumping against plastic the whole time. And then you've got this button here, which is your Sirius XM Guardian. I think you get 3 months free with that, and then after that it's subscription based. Nice thing about it is once you've got that activated, you can put an app on your phone, and you can use your phone to start your truck, lock your doors. If your truck gets stolen, you can find it, that kind of stuff. Basically, it's the remote start app. Is probably what most people use it for. Which is handy if if you're in a position where you can't see your truck when you go to fire it up in the morning. You can just kind of hit your phone and fire it up. Over here's your SOS button. If we hit that button, it'll alert the RCMP and it'll send them out to come and get us. And then these switches here for turning your little map lights on and stuff. Okay, I think that's about it. Like I said, if you're looking to get yourself into a new diesel, the Bighorn's probably one of our more popular packages, particularly with the bucket seats and the touch screen and the upfitter switches the way this one's been ordered. So give us a shout. We'd love to meet you. Come on down, take the truck for a drive, and we'll send you home in a new pickup. We hope to see you soon.